Alright,
That's part two, and peace out.
live test. Alright, so basically, I really wish I could get my like mic to pick up on how I say stuff a lot more. What yellow's like the area, like this is a fine line, so I mean I'm right there, so I'm not complaining. But just gonna be storm tracking here a little bit, cause yeah. Yeah, there's that low pressure. They're saying we're gonna get. Alright, let's see what this one says for the 24-hour. It says it's confident in some spots, like 1 inch, 1.25 over that area. They say they're gonna get slammed. That can't be right though. Like, see what the other one says here. This one's even leaning more towards. Oh my god. Oh yeah, I forgot what that one was. CMC. It's the same thing except go over here. This one's a lot more interactive with the current. Doesn't really want to think too far out. The CMC is not the best in my opinion, but yeah, it's not leaning towards Michigan getting much in the way of rain. Okay, I'll see what other ones. Got the JMA. Bro, what? What is this, bro? I don't think it should look like a. It's got 192. Okay, so like you're telling me that this whole area is just gonna have two. That makes sense. They're gonna have the exact amounts now. Obviously, the further down you. Oh, this one's like actually focusing on it, but it's yeah. The farther you go out, the more inaccurate you get. Like they're thinking this storm down here just goes and stops here. It's gonna track up this way. The little tropical storm system that was moving through. They think it's just gonna stop right there. Which is odd, pretty odd. Systems don't really do that. So, cause look at this model. I mean, right here. Oh, they already went wrong. Oh, some of these models look ridiculous. Like this, it's gonna catch up at some point. It's just gonna bounce off Michigan. Use Michigan as like a bounce pad, bro. And just yeah, no. It's this model's obviously wrong. That's why I don't like the GFS, but the GFS is definitely the most suitable for the future, I think, in my opinion. Let's see these hurricanes, should we? Dora. Dora is a weird system. It has such a tiny little hurricane, but it is a fierce, strong one. Little guy. Like 140-mile-an-hour winds right now. Like, that thing's up there. Eugene. This thing's just a mess right now. It's really just rain based, not even that windy. And then Kanan. Kanan is a gigantic mess as well, but Kanan's still got a long journey to go, I think, before it dies out. Yeah, it'll die out just over by South Korea. A lot of these storms are really not too impressive. I know some places like South Bend, for instance, have been. Oh my God, what is it doing? I assume this is it. What it wants me. Hello, bro. It's not really moving. There we go. Okay, I fixed it. But yeah, just some of these storms. We're gonna look back at some of these severe guys that are little fighters over here. Fierce suckers. There's one currently that looks pretty strong and could do some damage. Some of these other ones I'm not too worried about besides slight chance of a tornado or two. A lot of them are going to be warned, so I could see why. This guy up here, yeah. That was, I think, one of the ones that was warned earlier with the tornado threat. Another by, up by Beatrice, actually. It's warned for Western Plymouth, DeWitt, Wilbur, Fairbury, all sorts of these places it could go to, but it's only severe warned, remember, so it's not like there is a tornado threat or anything. That is one big junk of an area to just boom, splat. That's all severe. See, this is why you shouldn't always agree with what the Weather Channel puts out there, like, because there's obviously some issues with the Weather Channel's model still, but that little system is definitely starting to break up and break out a little bit. The system is really just on its little last bit of life. Could still cause some rain and some issues, but you can see it's breaking up in the middle actually. It's like actually opening up. So it's cracking here. It's gonna break into two soon, let me guess. It says it stays together for a while, but it will eventually. It causes some thunderstorms later, actually. Maybe it does stay together. I don't know, but it doesn't look like it's gonna last too much longer. Uh, yep, warning down here by Jasper, Fayette, Barry, Parrish, Oakman. All these places are warned currently for a severe thunderstorm. Oh, down here, what is this? That is a odd shape of a warning. It's like ding, 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 ding. But on a real note, Rosemont, Forkland, Merriweather, and Bird Eye. It's gonna go down and most likely dip down and cause some issues. So please stay and be careful. These storms are possible of wind, hail, and possible tornado. City over here by possibly affecting Pratt, Sawyer, Elms Mill, and Mingona. Also another warned one. Yeah, quite a few severe storms down here actually. That one's scary. This one is a killer. On its most recent update, that's scary. It's warned, isn't it? Yeah. Let's see what it says. Ping pong ball size hail. So, ping pong balls aren't small. 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts also aren't small. So, be careful if you are in parts of Stratford, Texhoma, all these places, Griggs, Carrick, Stevens, all these places. You need to get to your safe spot, or out from outside, because outside it is going to be bad at baseball size possible. I say possible just because these storms can rapidly intensify as they are already showing signs of severity. Dang, this one's actually looks sort of scary. Um Look at this one. It's not showing, so it's probably not a warned storm. This one is. Let's see what this one says. It doesn't really say anything. Small hail and gusty winds, heavy rain are still possible with the storm, but it has weakened below severe limits and no longer poses an immediate life-threatening thing. So if you haven't already, if you live in Midway, you can't get out of your safe places. It is not life-threatening or altering in any way anymore. This one up by Hugo is actually sort of scary. Ping pong and ball sized hail, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, sort of like the last one. And that one is definitely and also a scary-ish one. So let's see what this storm says. This has mainly got to be winds. Yeah, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Radar indicated. Yeah, damage to roofs, sliding, and trees. Oh, siding. Sorry, my bad. But look at that thing. Another low pressure system setting up, and it's just going to dip back down. At the Chicago area again, they've been getting tons of rain already. They had those severe storms that brought not only tornadoes, but also some severe rain. So definitely some crazy weather recently. My bad, just had to readjust. But yeah. So that's fun. Cause you always want that in your life. You just want storms that are bad. No, you really don't. Oh, there's a severe thunderstorm warning up here. This is why I don't like Canadians' radar as much. They warn such a gigantic area for no reason at all. It's just for no reason. It's this just gigantic chunk of Ontario. And this is really why I can't stand some of this. Like, if you're living down here in this corner, and you don't, all you know is there's a warning. You don't know where it's at. It could be like, 150 miles that way. Cause look at the size of that thing. That's like the size of Michigan. That's a whole warning. So you can't really tell where it's at. Unless you look at the radar and you're like, oh, I guess it's up there. It's super inaccurate. They don't have radars up there. It's not fun. I can't imagine at all. I think they do have a different sort of system that they use to like get the message across, but it's scary. Look at this. See if they have updated anything. So tomorrow is a slight risk again. Some thunderstorms are possible tomorrow, and the day after, a big slight chance possible. So they've really kept Monday's risk the same. But they keep pushing this one back. It was at the 8th. It said severe. Then it's back to the 9th. Like they keep pushing that back. So we definitely should look into this though. Probably click like right down there and see what they are saying. If you can, in a second, my bad. Alright, so some of these storms, Jewel actually posted today's outlook for the enhanced risk, so that is cool. Look at some of these analyses. Alright, so these are mesoscale discussions. They have a mesoscale discussion up towards this area of Iowa. It's basically just a discussion about concerning tornado watch possible. There is watches for tornadoes here and parts of Indiana, and then there is severe thunderstorm watches for all of these areas. Storm reports. Let's click on this map actually. Oh, it doesn't zoom in. That's amazing. Actually, click, bro. Like I just want to look at the picture. Oh my god. So there's been 8 tornado reports. Some of these will be in the same spot, obviously. When there are several storm chasers, they like to report them and see who's first. If they're not first, then you'll get rapid amounts. So, 54 wind reports, and 69 hail reports. So, quite a few of those as well. Craziness already. Let's look at this watch summary. So, tornado watch outline shape files. So, for parts of in a tornado watch so far, some of these spots have like 8 or 9, 7, 8 or 9 even tornado watches already. Parts of Louisiana this year have already had that, which is crazy. Let's see. It's the farthest. Up here is probably the farthest away from tornado. Well, maybe out there too. I don't. I have no clue. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. Really, honestly, all I could probably talk about with the weather, um, not really much more to talk about because, like, you know, basically explained the convective systems, the severe weather outlook for the next several days. I think it really covered everything. Oh, the watches. All right, let's look at the watches. Where was it at? There we go. There we go. Hazards. Actually, we'll just go back to the main map for that. What? National Weather Service. There we go. Okay, so it looks like there is no whatsoever. Good. There is not one single tornado warning out there currently. There's a tornado watch. There's actually two of them. Thankfully, there is no tornado warnings yet. That is a very good thing. But there is that severe thunderstorm warning, and that's going to be an issue for quite a few of these areas. Beach hazards. It's going to be. Beach hazards will be coming off of this convective system as it can pull out and push some waves actually back in towards the Chicago area, probably causing, I'd say, 4 to 7 feet waves. We'll see if I'm right on that. Dang it, 5 feet waves expected. Alright. 5 feet waves expected in parts of Lake Michigan, so be careful if you're really on that side of like Gary, Indiana, Chicago. It's gonna be wavy there. So it will be up there. High surf advisories. So high surf advisories are included for parts of California. 1 second. Well, I gotta go because can't stay on.